adaptation is not the same as evolution. Okay? What is adaptation? What is evolution? Evolution is changes in our DNA, changes that happen throughout the years, changes that we don't notice. Like, it's not going to happen in 100 years, it's not going to happen in 1,000 years, because humans, as we look right now, 2020 almost, are just exactly the same as they were in the 1900s, right? 1,000 years have passed, and I look exactly the same as someone that was born in 1901, for example, right? So I haven't evolved that much compared to my ancestor back in 1990s. So there has no been evolution at all from a millennium ago. On the other hand, adaptation, I have adapted differently compared to my relative that was living in the 1900s, right? For example, I don't know, maybe I've adapted to reading in front of a computer. Maybe if I put a person, which is, if we invent the time machine, if we put a person in front of a computer, someone born in 1900s, they're not going to be able to understand what we are, dealing with at this point. The point is, adaptation is completely different than evolution. And the ones that propose that the Paleolithic diet is, the way that we are supposed to eat, they argue that because the cavemen were chasing animals and being hunters, and we can see that in the drawings, and that's the evidence that we were carnivores and we were killers and all that stuff. No, it's just adaptation. That's not evolution. Do you see the difference? We can adapt, right? If I move to Greenland right now, if I move to Antarctica, there is no fruits. There is no fruits, there is no vegetables. My organism is gonna try to survive, and the DNA and everything else is gonna adapt to that environment. But I'm not gonna thrive. If you check the statistical or epidemiological findings in those tribes, from Antarctica, all the Eskimos, they always die of heart disease, and they don't go, or they don't pass beyond 60, 70 years old, and they always have coronary artery disease, atherosclerosis, heart attacks, because of the high fat consumption. They adapted to that diet just because of the environmental conditions. But that doesn't mean that they have evolved to endure and to thrive in those extreme conditions. So you see the difference. Hopefully that was clear. So yes, we can adapt, we can survive based on different diets, right? That's why humans survive, and in Antarctica, in Japan, in Russia, in Argentina, high meat eaters, they have adapted, but they're not thriving.